Hi, I am Veronica Drake, and I want to welcome you to your free message from the angels. Now, as I always do, I'm going to remind you, one size does not fit all. What you're going to get out of this message, someone else might not, and then vice versa. The other thing is, there's no expiration date on these messages. Every time you go and visit the Angel Library, which is on my site, and you click on a message, you're going to hear exactly what you need to hear. This is the way the process works. This is the way the angelic realm, the spirit realm, works with us. They point us in the direction of what we most need. And a lot of times we don't know what we need. And so surrendering and just letting it happen is the best way to get guidance. So the first thing is this. This week, particularly, you will find yourself faced with some health challenges. Now, these health challenges might be something that flares up, something that you're used to dealing with. It could be something that you've known you've had, but it's next level and it's time to take it to the next level when it comes to care for it. And with regard to health, you're going to have to make choices. It's going to be, is this the right practitioner for me? Is this the right medicine for me? Is this the right modality to heal my body? One of the things I feel very strongly that the angels are telling me is there are two techniques. Acupressure and shiatsu massage will be very helpful if you are feeling fatigued, cramped, muscle pain. Acupressure and shiatsu massage are two resources that you can look into if you have those symptoms. The other thing is what's happening with your health is going to build a stronger, more courageous version of you. So in other words, maybe you twist that ankle, maybe you break that arm, and it's going to show you how resourceful you really are. Now, this is not an ominous message. This is not, oh my God, this is something that as the energy of health comes into the forefront, you're going to have your attention called to something you've been struggling with. This is unique to each individual. For some of you, it might be as simple as your sinuses are flaring up again, or perhaps you've got that low back thing that's coming back. Maybe some of you get an ingrown toenail. It's just going to be a week where you're focusing on your health and well-being. Now, and being able to be courageous and look at it head on and make the choices you need to make. So with that said, there's something, this is part two, there's something that you've been at odds with in your life for a while, and this has to do with a family member, not necessarily a biological family member, somebody you feel like is family, or somebody that is an in-law of sorts, and you've been at an impasse with this person, and this person believes this, and you believe this, and so what's happening is the energy of compromise. The ball is in your court. It's time for you to compromise, not what you value, not what you stand for, not what you are, but perhaps your perception. So you can't change what is, but you can change the way you perceive it. Now, this is a really big message because everybody wants to be right. And the reality is, in this situation, it's not about anybody being right or wrong. It's about them bringing their perception, you bringing your perception. And so as you work through a different perception or perspective, they can be used interchangeably, you need to keep in mind that the energy of love surrounds every perspective, every perception that you have to put out into the world. As you look at it from that perspective, the perspective of love, you're going to easily reformulate, recreate what it is. The energy that you'll have to compromise with typically has been in your life, has been a sore spot in your life, has been kind of the image that Spirit's showing me, the angels are showing me, is when you get a pebble in your shoe. You know, sometimes you get to a place where the pebble shifts around and you don't really feel it in your shoe, and other times boy, is it a pain. So this is kind of like what this family member has been in your life. And this is all about you. Growth is never about the other person. It's all about you and the lessons that you're here to learn. Now, the next part of this message is, I want to get the right words because it's actually downloading to me. The next part of this message is, what appears to be nothing will be everything. Now, while that sounds cryptic, I want you to really think and take time with this. Sit with it, feel it. What appears to be nothing will ultimately be everything. Now, the angels are saying, sit with that, sit with those words, get out your journal. You know exactly what it is that appears to be nothing. It doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to have a purpose. It doesn't seem to be relevant in your life. And maybe it's a situation. Maybe it's a purpose. Maybe it's something at work. Maybe, as we talked about at the beginning of this reading, it's your health. Something that appears to be nothing will ultimately be everything. Everything hinges on nothing. So the perception of nothing gets shifted into the perception of everything. It's all about the way you look at it. Now, these messages can seem very cryptic, and when I'm getting them, literally, they're downloading, they're coming into my crown, they're coming out my mouth. Sometimes I do use cards to help me with this, but here's what I'll tell you with this. If you take your journal and if you sit with these messages, you're going to go, what appears to be nothing is everything. What is that about? And boom, you're going to hear something. You're going to get something up here. You're going to feel something in your heart space, in your tummy space. That's what you need to do. You need to listen. You need to be an active participant in this reading. I've never been the kind of reader that sits here and tells you, you better do this. Oh, you got to do this. This is a co-creative process. And that's exactly why Spirit has assigned me to do this work, because I will take you so far, and then you must pick up the journey because it's unique to each individual. Hence the phrase, one size does not fit all. Now, if you are interested and want to go deeper and want to know more, or maybe you just want to get messages every month and you can rely on them and go back and look at the library of them, I have Divine Downloads. Every month, I get 7 messages downloaded to me from the angels, from the spirit guides, from the ascended masters, from all over, the elders, and they come to you on a membership platform, and there are 7 audios typically, and you keep them, you have access to the whole library, and it's $27 a month. And so maybe you want to consider something like that. I'll put the link in here. In the meantime, be a co-creator of your life. Take this message, sit with it, and see what comes from it.